Yo, how's it going, guys? Christian Loza here with How It's Done podcast, and I'm here with the one and only Anthony Purcell, aka Halcyon Photo. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, dude.
Appreciate it.
So for those watching that aren't familiar with you or your work, tell us what you do.
So I am a mostly automotive photographer and cinematographer.
Awesome, man. How did you first get into photo and video?
Okay, so I think you'll relate to this maybe because we're around the same age. Do you remember LiveJournal?
Yeah.
Okay, so back when I was like 14, 15, like LiveJournal was the thing. It was like the social network. And I just remember like following people who were like going about photographing their day. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And I think that's what inspired me to just like get a camera and just like take pictures of stuff.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
What was your first setup like back then?
Oh man, it was a Pentax Optio 750Z.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And just for those that don't know, what's your current setup right now?
A Sony A7R2.
Oh, cool, man. So I gotta ask, where did the name Halcyon come from?
So like when I was first like thinking of like making a name for what I was doing, I think some photographers or filmmakers or what have you have a really good name that like rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Like Frederick Schlosser, Andrew Link, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for me, mine didn't like personally roll off, and I wanted it to be something that like represented my other interests.
Right.
So it's actually just a song title from my favorite band.
Oh, cool. Which is?
Mono.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's
awesome.
a
Man.
Japanese instrumental band.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And then I have to also ask, tell us about your logo.
The cat, kind of, yeah, that right there. So that kind of comes down to just like, I knew I wanted the logo to have nothing to do with photo or video, because I feel like it's kind of like wearing like a band t-shirt to their concert.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
So like I was, man. Okay, so like when I was like taking things more seriously, I knew I wanted a logo. I was working for a party at the time called Cat Face Party.
Yeah.
And so it was basically like literally a party where you drew a cat face like on your like nose or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like cat memes and like really funny things. I just wanted like some type of like animal.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like Asian culture has always fascinated me, and the same thing with Lucky Cats is like I have so many like Lucky Cat things, and it just worked.
Yeah, I really like how you keep that consistent with like everything. It's in all your videos, and you've done like merch and stuff. And who did this thing for you?
This was done by What's in Your Fridge on Instagram.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He does all kind of custom woodwork and stuff.
That's awesome, man. That's pretty cool. So I couldn't help but like take a dive back down into your like YouTube channel. And so Anthony Burgess's 2001 Volkswagen Jetta, your first video on YouTube was 8 years ago. How do you feel your work and style has progressed since then?
I mean, just like any artist, like it's just always kind of about trying new things and doing better against yourself year after year. Back then it was more so like I was just doing it because it was fun. Like I was super into cars, and that's when I was like just getting into video. So for that, it was just like I met Anthony through MySpace, like another throwback, and it was like funny because we both worked at Starbucks. We were both named Anthony. We were both into cars, and we just like hit it off. And then we've been like friends for a while at that point, and then he had just like gotten those wheels. I was like, yo, let's do a video. Yeah, it's wild. What's funny is that video is still like the most viewed video.
That's
on
so
my
crazy.
channel.
Yeah, I couldn't help but go down and then like and just see how much your work has progressed with them. But I think the other shocker was that thing I was like, it posted 8 years ago. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So on the topic of your logo and stuff, you're really big into animals. Yeah. And I know you do the whole like you record like dogs and pets at shows and stuff. Like tell me like about your love for animals.
I've always grown up with dogs in my family. My mom and my dad, they love dogs. They love animals. So I don't know. It's just like once you're like a dog person or a cat person or just an animal person in general, it's just like contagious.
They're so cool. And how many dogs did you say you had?
We had 3 at most at one point.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I always I love seeing your like event coverage where you have just like photos of like the animals at the shows. I'm like, that's super cool.
It's just like it's just a good mood.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And I remember you were telling us when we were setting up that like I feel like you should make like a compilation video like one day when you have enough like footage.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, man. So you did a documentary 4 or 5 years ago, yeah, called We Are Driven. Tell us about that and who was involved.
Okay, so man, it was just like it was just a project that like I really wanted to encompass how fascinating like the whole Northeast scene was, because we had TunerEvo, we had you guys over at Canopy, we had Fresh Meat, we had drift events, you know. So I just really wanted to like make something like long run that just kind of like put everyone together in a one video.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, back then, like obviously in comparison to now, like I knew nothing about what I was doing, just about like how to tell a story or like progress the mood of the documentary or just keep it like a good retention for people to watch.
Yeah.
So it's something I would love to like do again.
Yeah.
Perhaps on like a tighter niche than just like the automotive community, maybe like one part of it.
Right.
But it was just something you just wanted to do, you know?
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, if you did a documentary now on the car scene, like how differently would you do things?
Tenfold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would I mean, I think that was like a year in the works of stuff, but I feel like instead of just focusing on the car scene in general, I think I would find one tighter niche or like one tighter group of people to focus on.
That's a good idea. Yeah, man. So, can we expect any documentaries from you in the future, or
not at the moment?
Not at the moment. Yeah.
Unless like something strikes me and I'm just like that needs to be done. Not at the moment.
Yeah. Speaking of like documenting things, I noticed you haven't fallen into that whole like vlogging thing. Is that just like not for you, or?
I tried it.
Yeah.
I have like a few I shot that like are just sitting on my computer. I don't know. I tried it. I don't know. I guess I'm not into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it too with my channel, and it's tough, man.
It is.
It was a lot tougher than I anticipated at first.
It's funny, like when you watch vloggers like John Hicks or John Hill or even Crispy, like it looks so easy when you're doing it, but like
so tough.
I've also been around Chris when he's doing his, and like it's hard work.
It's tough, man. Yeah, I remember when I first started, I tried it, and I was just doing so many takes of like the first like, hey, what's up, guys? And then I was like, let me log on and look at like how Crispy and all those people do it, because it's tough. It's really hard.
It is.
And you're just I just found myself just like double thinking everything, and just my speech. I'm just like, oh, that's so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of your documentary, right after you released it, you got hired by a small forge company called D2 Forge, and you shared a tiny office with our buddy Chris Sempek. Tell us about that and your experience there.
That was like my first way out of working the like regular jobs I was working and getting more into video and cars in general.
Yeah.
So before that, like everything I had done up to that point was to just like, it was like mostly for fun, because I was still in college and I was still just like working regular jobs. So like for that to come along, it was that like first step out,
right? Yeah,
which was great. So they hired me. It was like sales, marketing kind of thing, but photo and video. Well, Chris did the photos. That's where I met him there, and I did video. So I mean, he's a great dude. I'm like so happy to see where he's gotten.
Absolutely, same.
He moved up to from Virginia for that job, and it was a great experience at the time, but things didn't really work out as planned. So for him, I felt much worse for it, because it was local to me, but he made a huge sacrifice for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just killing it right now.
Oh yeah, moved out to LA and everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was telling me it was interesting. Like I honestly just didn't know that you guys worked together at D2, and when he was telling me about it, I was like, holy shit. And then he was just like going on and speaking great things about you and saying like, oh, like, I took a big move, a big step in my life moving out there, and I knew nobody, and like, I met Anthony, and we became close, and he introduced me to people and stuff, and so that was like really cool to hear. But yeah, I had no idea. I was like, I gotta throw that question in there.
And it's amazing to like see the work that actually goes into making forged wheels. Like watching him work was just mind blowing.
Yeah.
The technicality behind it. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna like bother explaining it because I have no idea what I'm talking about. But like, for anyone watching, like when you see a final like forged wheel, like so much has gone into creating that. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, and it's awesome that he took that job, and I'm sure he learned a lot from it because he's still doing the whole like working for a wheel company thing, and it's pretty cool. How long were you there for?
I think about 8 months.
Oh, okay.
8-9 months. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So what did you do? Work professional wise after that? Did you just dive right into doing video full time?
So after that, I kind of went into a transitional period.
Yep.
So after that, I knew I needed some type of job, but I also knew I wanted to take photo and video more seriously. So I knew I had to find the right job to like give me the time to grow, but like still support me. So I got a job at a bank.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just being a teller.
Nice.
And it was a great fit because for an hourly rate, the money was like okay.
Yeah.
And the hours were awesome. You know, they were closed on holidays, weekends, open till 5 Monday to Friday.
Absolutely,
so it was it was the perfect catalyst into just working full time. So that's what I used. When I started there, it was like 40 hours a week, and then 30, and then 20, and then just left.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was at one point in time where you were like doing the 40 and the 30, you were balancing that out with like doing your whole video thing, and it just like slowly.
Yeah. And then I literally just one day just quit.
And then that's when you did like video, like all this stuff full time, right? After that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's been about 3.5 years. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wild.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, and dude, it's super cool to see like what kind of jobs people have had before they've done their whole thing full time. Because I remember when I was interviewing Nick Kraft, he was telling me how he was like, you know, like working at McDonald's and whatever, and he just like, you know, now he has his own business.
Yeah.
And
he's also
Yeah, and then like, you know,
crushing it.
That's awesome. Like same for you, man, which is really cool. So yeah, on the topic of video, if you could make a video about anything you haven't already done. I mean, I know you do the whole like automotive thing and you do other things, but if it could be a video about anything you haven't done yet, like what would it be, like topic wise? I'm sure there's something that you're just like, oh, I've been wanting to do this. Like,
I really want to go back to China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And cover them.
Yeah.
Because I went back there for a project for AccuAir.
Yeah.
And they're kind of holding on to it just for like, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of stuff they said they're holding on to it for, but like the content's so sick, the cars are awesome, and I just really want to put it out there. I honestly just want to like go back on my own dime just to do it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember. So funny that you mentioned that. So I was gonna bring that up, but then I noticed that the video wasn't like anywhere online on their AccuAirs or yours, and I was like, did something happen? So I'm not gonna bring it up and hope that it like casually comes up. So
it's nothing like bad. Like our relationship's still great. It's just like from a business perspective for them, they're holding on to it.
Yeah. So what you know, obviously linked up with some people out there and did like some cool stuff. Like, can you talk about that a little more? Or?
So I guess where it first came from is I went to China with an ex-girlfriend of mine just to like it was kind of like vacation, visiting her family and whatnot. And while I was there, I saw like an EP3 Civic on CE28s, and then I saw like a Scirocco, which that doesn't like the new one. So that's not even a car that's in America.
Yeah.
And then I saw like just like random like modded cars here and there. And I'm like, yo, what is this? What could this culture be like?
Right.
And then I think it was like not too much later, you guys actually had an article on your site of those dudes, iAcro.
Yeah.
And I just started following a few of them, and then Rilber, who is one of their like lead dudes who lives in Beijing but also lives in LA.
Yeah. Is he out there full time now or no? He just goes back and forth. Okay.
He like jumps back and forth.
Okay.
I had messaged him one day in like the summer of 2015, just like on a whim, like, yo, you guys got anything going on? And he's like, oh yeah, this is in like a month. And
you're like, time to book.
Yeah. So I was just like asking about the cars out there, and like he said that a lot of them were on air and most of them are AccuAir. So like that night, it was like 3 a.m. I just made a proposal to them, like, this is what I want to do and this is what I need to do it. And I sent it, and then they called me the next day. They're like, yeah, we're super down.
Dude, that's awesome.
So I had to like get a Chinese visa rushed.
That's cool.
It was wild.
Wow. And how long were you out there for?
Like 6 days. 5-6 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little quick.
It was like in and out.
Yeah. Wow. Was there like some sort of a language barrier or anything, or was it all good?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't I don't know any Chinese other than like hello and just like super basic stuff. But Realbert was there, so he helped me out like
And
doing the
translating,
interviews and translating the interviews and all that. But I mean, when it comes down to the car stuff, it's all body language, man.
Yeah,
it's just it's crazy because in China, because of like the whole state they're in, social media and all that's blocked, so it's like a pain in the ass to get on Instagram or anything like that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was like you got to like it was almost like revisiting the culture over here before all that came into play.
Yeah,
like people were just so like super wholesome, and no one's like on their phone. Like during like a limbo contest or anything, everyone's just like into it. No one's like on their phone just like recording it. It was like really refreshing.
It's so crazy. Like you go to concerts nowadays and like everyone has their phone out or the fireworks or something, and it's just like you can't really
100%
can't have everybody in the room like living in the moment.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I saw a post that Dave Tormey made like recently. And he was just like asking about like, you know, compare like when do you know like to just like, you know, put your phone down and just be in the moment. It's just like it's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like in your case, like, you know, a videographer or somebody's a photographer. It's like how do you know?
It's like essential to what you do.
Right. It's like how do you know like I'm just gonna like put this away and just enjoy it. But it's like am I missing out on an opportunity? Like it's tough. Yeah, man. But so moving on, I've been dying to know, like, what's your process like for editing? Like, you know, what's your computer setup like and that sort of thing as well?
Okay, so the computer is a custom-built PC. The CPU is a Intel i6700K, and then we have 32 gigabytes of Kingston HyperX RAM, a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 980, Samsung solid state, and then some regular hard drives to store everything on.
Cool, man. You probably have a lot of those.
yeah. If you, they're all over in there in the corner. I mean, I could bring them over, but I mean, we're just stacked on hard drives.
That's awesome, man. So tell us, like, what's your process like for editing? Like, you obviously have like a backlog of things, like once you're done with the video. But how do you, like, you know, pick and choose what comes first, and like, you know, do you sit down and knock it out in one day, or how do? Like, just tell us about that.
Okay, so. When it comes to like the order, it's usually like first in, first out.
Yeah.
You know, unless there's a reason for things to skip around or anything of that nature. But
like if it's a paid gig or something.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if it's paid or if they're paying to rush it or any of that. So when it comes down to the edit itself, it's importing everything first of all, and then kind of what I do is I put all my clips in the timeline, like put them all in and then trim from there because it forces me to watch every single one.
Right.
So I can find kind of common themes in the footage. So like whether it's like, oh, all these shots, the camera is panning left, so I can put those together. Yeah. So it's like, I kind of categorize it by the shot type. So if it's like a gimbal shot that's super fast or just a tripod shot, or if it's handheld or like a pan, like I kind of keep those all in groups together. And then from there, it's kind of like building the skeleton. Yeah. And then depending on the type of video it is, it's, you know, nature of starting with color grading or transitions or audio. So a lot of it's just like intuition on the fly.
That's super cool, man. And how would you, how would you say like that, has that always been your style of editing, or did you like learn from the beginning? Because I know you were saying that you like to like literally drag everything in your timeline so you're watching it. Was there ever a point in time where you were just like deciding what to bring in or whatever, and then you just learned that you weren't like obviously watching everything that way,
and
right?
like I would like go back through footage and be like, oh, why did I not use this? Like, this looks so
that's a cool way. Yeah, man. I noticed that you did that because I've been watching a lot of your Instagram live videos. You've been doing a lot of editing there, which I think is super cool. How have those been going? How have those been going for you?
Well, like Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram Live. You've noticed, like, I've noticed that you're in tune with all your fans and stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's a great way to just like keep in touch with people, especially since like this year, like I've kind of taken a step back from Instagram and social media in general.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of just like, it was a mix between just being like unmotivated to use it a little bit and an experiment to see what happened if I shot down posting to only like once a week or less than that to see just how engagement would be, and is it something I really need to survive in my line of work.
And what did you find out from that? Just
as busy. Like it I like, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I just like got to a point where I realized I was just like always on it. I was like, what is this video doing? It was just like, it was toxic.
Yeah.
You know, but like now, like I just feel like refreshed, and like honestly, like even though I upkeep on the post now, like my notifications are off for all my social media.
I do that too. Yeah.
And I'll check it maybe once or twice a day.
Right. So you said that you've noticed that you've just like kind of like eased off it just a little, and I'm sure you're just, obviously you're still posting about your videos and stuff, but you're just like less on it just to be on it, right? And you're on it when to do things that count or whatever.
Yeah, like I never go on Instagram just to like scroll through my feed.
Right. I catch myself doing that and I'm just like, stop.
Yeah.
Don't do that. It's bad. Yeah. So I something that I've noticed, I mean, obviously those videos are super cool. People get to see your editing process and what goes into it or whatever. Have you ever considered hosting like your own video editing classes or workshops? I feel like a lot of people would really be into that. Like, I feel like you have a good following for that, and people obviously love your work and what you do. And I mean, by the sounds of your Instagram live videos, I mean, I feel like you'd be a really good, teacher or a workshop host. Have you given that some thought at all? Or?
No, that's a cool idea. Yeah, I do at the moment want to work on making a color grading pack and like sound design pack of like sounds and LUTs I've made over just like the situations I've been in over the years. Yeah. So like how to correct like a really ugly indoor venue, like preset, or just presets for like tuning exhaust sounds to get rid of like wind noise and stuff like that. So that's something I'm like working on at the moment. I haven't like said anything about it. It's just like files I'm dumping in as I go. But as far as like workshops and stuff like that, that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I feel like if you hosted one and you maybe had like somebody with a really super cool car that a lot of kids probably wouldn't have access to, and just had your class like, learn, and each person gets their own video out of it, and you like teach them things. I feel like that'd be super cool. You can like brand it with like a poster and stuff. That'd be super cool. That'd be awesome. Okay, so moving on. You just did your first feature of 2018, AV's E93 M3. You said this. I noticed in your post yesterday when you released it, you said this was your most involved feature. Can you tell us more about that?
So, like, in 2017, I really didn't work on much features aside from the ones that came with doing show videos. And it was honestly, like, a mix of being busy and, like, kind of being bored with them. Like, just, like, taking a car to a parking lot. And just, like, I mean, as beautiful as the car is, like, or finding a great spot, like, I was just kind of tired of, like, here's the car at this spot, drives to another spot. Here it is. It's, like, they're fun to do. It's just, like...
There's no story.
There's no story, and it's just, like... Every year you gotta like kind of up yourself. Your only competition should just beat yourself. And if you're doing the same thing you did last year, it's like why?
You always gotta evolve and become better.
So for his car is badass and it sounds good. It makes like 700 horsepower. So it's like not even something I really wanted to just like put somewhere and take shots of it parked. So I knew I wanted to drive. Yeah. And we were just kind of like coming up with the like ideas. And his name's Cartel Fun. So it's like I wanted something that had like a night vibe for sure, and then something that just had like a good intensity to it, and like kind of mysterious and ominous. And his friend Sorto and the guy Vlad who wrapped his car, they both have two badass cars, and I don't know, it just fell into place. And then it's like one of those things. He was like, are we gonna do this all in one night? And then it's like so how that video worked is we did one night of just him. We went out to New York City. We did, the general rollers. We did handheld, super tight shots of the car. Anything that involved his car solo, we did in one night. And then another night, we did all shots that involved all three of them. And then another night, we did the intro scene, which is them like all walking, being parked and all that. And then another night, we did anything we needed pickups for. So B-roll, gauges, interior stuff, all that nature. So it took 4 different nights to do.
That's super cool. I watched it yesterday on my TV, and I was like, whoa.
Thank you.
So who came up with the whole theme of you guys had the GTA, or you got the throttle style like garage scene, and who came up with that idea? Because I know he had I know he was his car. He did the camo wrap in it, and it changed over, which is like perfect. But like, tell us how that came about, like the concept.
He told me he was wrapping the car, and then he wanted that the car being wrapped to be part of it.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I don't know. It's just like the idea of just like filming people wrapping the car. It was just like, it was so like daunting. Yeah. And then it was just like, I don't know. Let's just come up with a different way to do it.
Yeah. And so I noticed you were saying that you took your first like real stab at like motion graphics and stuff. Is that did you have any help with that? How'd you learn to do that?
YouTube, school for everything, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I made all the files in Photoshop and then just tracked it all.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's so cool, dude. And then you did your own the music and your own score for that whole thing too, right?
Yeah.
How have you always been doing music? Did you just recently learn, or tell us about that?
I would say when photo and was like still a hobby to me, like I had so many hobbies, cars, photo, and music was a big one, but it used to be in the likes of metal.
Yeah.
So everything from like death metal, punk, hardcore, all that stuff. So that's what I really used to be into. And then when I started getting involved in shooting nightlife, I got really into all types of electronic music. And then since then, it's just like there's just so much incredible music out there. So like music I've always had as a big part of what I do, because it enhances my work, and then at the same time I want all these amazing artists to like be heard.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
They're doing incredible stuff. And then it's just like being fascinated with like some of the stuff these guys do on their own, or like maybe sometimes they're a duo or something.
Yeah.
But just like the feelings and the atmospheres and emotions they're able to like make with electronic music, it's just super fascinating. So it just started YouTube school again.
That's
just like
so cool.
Like tutorials on how to do this in this program and this and all that.
Yeah, it's amazing that it's all out there to learn.
It's so cool. Crazy.
It's like, who needs school, right?
Yeah, for real.
It's so cool. I noticed that you also said that there was a lot of challenges involved with everything. I know that obviously doing the way you shot it was, and then doing the music and all that and the motion graphics was a challenge. But did you run into any like technical issues with like uploading and stuff? I noticed I saw something on your.
Oh, you know what it was? NVIDIA releases a new driver update for their graphics cards like every week, and like Adobe can't keep up with like making sure they're compatible.
Right.
So it was I was trying all these different things, and then I just downgraded the driver to the one that was like 3 editions back, and it worked fine.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So that was the only hiccup that you had throughout the whole thing. Okay.
It.
I was like, man, what kind of issues was he having?
Yeah, it's because it's kind of crazy because like the project gets so complex, and it's like, God, I hope this works. It's just like what could like there's so many third-party effects and different types of just like so many different layers and all these things. It's like, man, I hope this renders.
So
and then like the thing is, like when you're have all these effects and all this, it takes so long to render, so it's like you might wait a half hour before the error even comes up, and then it's like you just wasted a half hour,
and then you have to like sometimes look it up if you just don't know what the error is or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's insane. I personally really enjoyed the music as well.
Thank you.
It had like a very like 80s like Stranger Things sort of vibe to it, which is super awesome. Can you tell us like what you used to do that and the process behind that?
So the production program, the digital audio workstation, DAW as they're referred to, is FL Studio, and then most of the sounds were made in Serum and Silent One.
Oh, okay.
Which are like synth plugins.
Oh, okay, cool.
That, like let you create your own sound.
Awesome. Yeah. Is that something that you've been doing for a long time, or did you just recently dive into that?
It's something I've been doing for a long time, just like on my own, like for my own fun. Like I'll just like make beats because I it's relaxed. Like ever since like photo and videos become like my full-time job, it's like I need an outlet now.
Yeah.
It's like
you can't burn yourself out with just that.
It's like it's still fun to me. It's just like I need a different hobby, just to like not take seriously.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. And then it finally got to the point where I was like, wow, this sounds halfway decent. Like it.
Let me just try.
Yeah, because the hardest part about electronic music is like making it sound good on your computer monitors. You're making it sound good in the car, making it sound good on the phone. Like it sounds different. That like everyone hears like all different types of electronic music and assumes it's like super easy. It's tough.
Oh, I believe it.
It's like to make like it's easy to make in a sense, but to make it sound good is
tough.
Like
and not like repetitive or the other thing too with electronic music is like you don't want it to be predictable either. That's the other thing.
For sure.
Yeah. Damn, that's wild, man. So you did this video. It had a really cool theme to it. You did motion graphics on it. Super cool. you did the audio, you did the music for it. Awesome. It all came out good. I feel like, are you going to do that for all your videos now, or was this just like a special thing? Like, I feel like you've really raised the bar with that.
I feel like now I have like 2 types of features I want to shoot. It's either going to be like that, or it's like, I just shot this video in Vegas when I was out there for a job. Like it's something similar to one I've done in Dallas. It's like one night in Dallas, and then one night in Vegas. It's just like, I either want it to be super intense, like Cartel Funds video, or just like a super chill night of just friends. Like, I don't care if we don't get this shot. I don't care if we like don't do this. It's just like, we're just like relaxing and having fun. And it's like, I'm not really in the mood to do the in-between anymore, because it's like, it's just, I don't know. Yeah.
So are all your car feature videos now going to have like a concept and stuff, or not necessarily? It just depends, right? Like,
I guess it all depends on like just the amount of time that can go into it.
Yeah, because that's a lot of work, man.
Yeah. So for the right car, I would love to. Yeah. But like, just like, kind of like, it's nothing against like the more average car or anything of that nature. It's just like,
yeah, because you're still showcasing your skills and stuff. It's just when you have a concept like that involved, you're just going like the extra step,
and like
which is super cool.
More crazy, like a car like Cartel Funds M3. Like I can't necessarily do that with like a VIP Lexus.
Right,
It's like
it just doesn't fit.
It doesn't work.
Everything with the whole atmosphere and the music and the color grading, it just went well with that specific car. Super cool, man. Really, really good job in the video.
Thank you.
Awesome,
I appreciate
dude.
that.
So one thing I personally really enjoy about your feature videos are the locations. Do you scout for locations prior to shoots and plan it out, or do you just kind of wing it?
So on that topic, excuse me.
Oh, it's all good, man.
So much talking. So like the one night in Vegas video, that's going to go up very shortly.
Yeah.
I like literally passed by one spot during the day, and I was like, we'll start there, like whatever.
Yeah.
We did some rollers, and then we came upon this like crazy building that was done by I think his name is Felipe Pantone. He's like some type of street artist, a modern artist, some of that nature, and it just worked. So like sometimes just wing it like that, but like for other features like the Cartel Funds video and Steve's RSX and things of that nature, it's like driving around, like looking for spots for hours. Okay. And then Google Earth. It didn't apply with the Obvious video because it was all shot at night.
Right.
But if it's going to be during the day, there's a website called Sun Tools that lets you see exactly where the sun's going to be at any given point and like how long the shadows are going to be. Yeah. So that's like the number one like tool I use if I'm going to shoot during the day.
That's awesome.
Because you can tell like.
I hope people are going to take notes on that.
I think it's called Sun. Just Google Sun Tools or Sun Tracker or something of that nature, and you'll find it.
That's super cool, dude. So speaking of learning and teaching, you just recently did some work on Krispy's latest video of the 4GT Forum rally. Tell us about that.
Another thing with like just being fascinated with like music production is like just being fascinated by the sound design in films and movies. Like Black Mirror is a great example from like a scoring perspective and ambience perspective. And then sound design, like in the Pennzoil films. Yeah. Like, there's a shot in the 458 Pennzoil film where he's like going past all these cones, and it's like, like type like that. So like that's just like super fascinating to me. And then he was working on it, and I was like, if you're down, like I'm down to like try out just like working on some sound stuff for you. And he had no problem with that. Yeah. So it involved like mixing and mastering like all the level, like just general levels of like the interviews and the music, making sure it's like all at the right dB, and then just like kind of like chopping up sounds to like see what we can make.
That's super cool. Did you guys have to like meet up in person to do that, or was it just
it was all digital? He like literally sent me all the interview files and the song files, and like laid those down first, and then everything else I just put
and then
on
you
top
sent
of.
It right back.
Yeah, I exported it as just an audio file, and he just puts it right in.
That's awesome, man. I really like what you guys have going there. You guys collaborating on things and working together, which is super cool.
It's great, man. I met him first.
When did you guys meet?
I want to say it was first class 2012.
Okay.
Because we first like crossed paths at Weekfest.
Yeah.
But we both kind of like just gave each other that like sup nod, but we didn't like say anything. So we were both kind of like doing our thing, and then we met at first class. And I mean, man, look at what it's involved into.
God, dude.
Like a lot of people kind of like joke that's like competition, but it's like I guess in like a way it's like a motivating competition, but like at the same time it's like we're both like working towards our own goals, but like at the same time we can both take our skills and work on projects together, and it just like creates awesomeness.
It's so crazy to see how both of you guys have progressed since back in the day. It's crazy. And you guys, it's cool because I remember the last time we saw each other when I interviewed Crispy for my podcast. You guys were in my area for a wedding.
Yeah.
And I just have to ask, do you film non-car related videos often? Obviously. But so what kind of videos have you done that's non-car related? Like the like weddings and that sort of thing. Can you dab on that?
Weddings, as we just said. I was just in Vegas for doing like a corporate video for a Wi-Fi, like a company that installs like Wi-Fi streetlights.
Oh, okay.
So like anything for like randomness of that. Maybe some nightlife like here and there, not too often. And then
that gets tiring after a while, right?
Yeah, and the industry's like
they don't.
It's
really
hard to find good people.
Well. Yeah,
it's really hard to find genuine people in that industry. And then Chris and I have just done a lot of random stuff.
Yeah.
Like small business commercials. Just. Yeah,
he does all those like RWB videos and stuff. How many of those have you gone on with him? I'm sure a ton at this point.
I think 5 now.
Wow.
Yeah, Philadelphia, Tampa. Oh my God,
Atlanta.
I'm like blanking out. Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 more. I'm like blanking out.
That's so crazy that you guys have. I'm wondering if he can like.
Kitchener.
Oh yeah,
Kitchener's the one.
Yeah.
There's another one. I don't know why I can't think of it.
That's super cool. Yeah, I always like look forward to those, especially like
Orlando. That's
yeah. Especially like the behind the scenes ones are pretty cool. Do you have a preference between like what the kind of videos that you do like that aren't automotive related? Like like I know some people are like I love doing weddings, which is that's kind of weird. But do you have a preference?
Weddings are cool. I mean, they're a good time, but it's not like something I'm passionate about.
They're super stressful, I've heard.
Yeah, they're very intense. If there's something I was going to do I would like to move into music videos and just like indie films in general.
Yeah.
But that's like I feel like I don't have the time to like make that dive.
They're so involved.
Yeah, they're very involved.
You got to find a cast. It's story plot, everything.
And like, I mean, I would just love to just like, I'll literally take any role in that because I'm like very interested in doing it.
Yeah.
So whether it's like ACing or gaffing or just being a PA or shooting it, I'm down to do any of it. But kind of on my own terms.
What about acting?
No, we're good. I'm honestly like I really love a clean corporate video.
Yeah.
Like it sounds super random, but like when a business video is done like really well and it like shows
like,
a little bit.
I like that.
Yeah, like I'm like one that shows like the CEO like in his home or something, like something super random. Like I think those are super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So moving on, you're heavily involved in TunerEvo. How did you get linked up with them?
Oh man, so I met Jay at Fresh Meat 2012, I think I want to say.
Okay, so around the same time you met Crispy.
Yeah. It was what's funny. It was that year I wanted to vend at his show.
Yeah.
To like have a booth like with my videos playing and like prints and stuff, and I met him there and he gave me a flyer for it and I was like, oh, I'm vending here, and he's like, who are you? So I had no idea he was the one who ran the show, and then ever since then it was just like I went to his show in 2012, vended there, made a really good relationship with him, and then 2013 came back, shot again, then 14 shot again, then that's when he expanded to North Carolina, and it was like, I want to go, like, can you help me out? And he's been just one of the most supportive people for me.
That's awesome. And you go to like pretty much every single one now at this point. Which has been your favorite show so far that you've gone on the tour? Like which location and which year or whatever, like which one?
Honestly, Chicago right now. Yeah, because Chicago's a beautiful city.
Yeah, and plus their car scene's super cool.
Yeah, they got a really good street like car scene, like drift cars and just cars that are really functional, but they still look really good.
Right. Yeah. I was there earlier last year. It feels weird saying last year. With Roy and Dave, we went to Week Fest out there. And honestly, man, like the weather was really shitty when we were there, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
The city's cool.
I'm fascinated by Chicago.
Yeah, man. It's super cool, man. Are you excited for SoCal? That's coming up.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
After this, I gotta go ahead and respond to like all the DMs for the shoots and like put it all on a spreadsheet for like the day and their phone numbers and all that. So
super cool.
yeah, I'm really excited because what I love about like the LA area is like you have these crazy mountains, you have the beach, you have the city, you have regular suburbia, and they're all within like 45 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome, man.
I think it'll give us an opportunity to just create something really fresh for the brand.
I might have to hit you up when I'm there just to
For sure.
do some behind the scenes or something, or vlog it. That sounds really cool. Do you have like a goal for an amount of cars or a specific length for the? Is this going to be an intro or outro? Or
yeah. So what I realized about the Chicago video is that I ended up with a lot of features, but there's like no pre-meet or anything, so it's just like feature after feature. I'm just making sure that's still running. Yeah, we're good. So it feels a little off to me. So I think for LA, I want to do less features, but I just want to spend more time with all of them.
Yeah.
So I want to like spend like a full 10-hour day like in the mountains with 1 or 2 cars, a night in the city with a few cars.
So how does the whole thing go? Like, do you just have to make sure like that those cars are like gonna be at the show, or does it matter? Or like...
I like to keep it to cars being in the show because I can kind of like maybe do a
and
little
it just
play
makes
on
sense.
continuity there.
Yeah.
But if not, I just want to make sure that the car like still represents the brand.
Right.
So whether they were able to like not go to the show because they were just busy, like it's like would this car be accepted into the show? Yeah. So just make sure, it looks good, it's clean, the parts are genuine.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So 7 months ago or so, you linked up with Xavier Wulf and did a music video for his track Alexander Wolf. Can you tell us about that? Like, what how did it come into play, and who was involved, and all that sort of thing for people who aren't familiar with that?
So I owe all that credit to Sebastian, who also works for TunerEvo. He's the one who like is kind of merging this culture of hip hop, rap, and the car scene through the show.
Yeah.
So we were kind of like trying to get him to consider doing it, and I was just like, y'all like just make him a music video.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get him to the show. And I don't know if it's like motivating. Trying to think of the word, like a motivating factor for him to do it, but he was down, and then right before he went on stage at the show, I was like, yo, you still down to do this? He's like, yeah. And he's like, here's my number. He's like, hit me in the morning. So after that, it was just like, yo, we need cars for this. Like, what is going on?
I was wondering if you guys had picked the cars. Like,
no, like I literally ran up to Dom with the R8, and I was like, yo, are you around more? And he's like, yeah. He's like, and he was super down. And then Mark Davis came, Spencer,
yes. Mark did like the burnout or something.
Yeah, and
right?
he broke his axle doing it. So, like, that was like the last location, thankfully. Anyway.
Yeah.
So he broke it. We all just like hung out.
So you did like all the planning and deciding as soon as Sebastian was like, or as soon as you guys just decided like to do it, you just were like in like plan mode, like right
yeah.
away?
It was just like that night we're just like, all right, we'll go here and here. All right. I mean, it was very run and gun, which was cool, but it's not like the type of music videos I want to do if I do music videos.
Right, you want to plan it.
Yeah,
and 100%. All that stuff. Yeah, like get like extras and yeah. So you just did all natural lighting for it, right? Yeah,
it was all just like spur of the moment.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, I remember when that first came out, I was like, I know that person. I know that person.
Right,
I know that
cool
car.
seeing the homies in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Dean with the 180.
Yeah.
And Peter and Pete, and I think that's everybody.
So you
EJ.
Sorry. So you just recently decided to upload the closing scene for the TunerEvo Philly video, which and gave it its own title, which is "This Is Our Time." Can you tell us all about that from the planning stages to the end? Just that specific shot.
So everyone in that video is like a real like homie, because what happened was the night of the show. After we all got out, it was originally planned to do that night, but one of the cars had run into a few problems, and it was all like the cars didn't get out of the show till like 10:30, so we didn't get down to Philly till like 11:30 at night. And then before you know, it's like 2 a.m. and we still haven't gotten anything done. So some of the cars weren't able to make it to the reshoot, but I mean, everyone stayed out, like no complaints.
Yeah.
And then Steve and Avi were super down to come from New York, and Avi was at Impact, which is still like 2 hours away. They were down to come to Philly.
It's a hike.
Yeah, and then B Magic is based in Philly with the two 240s, And we stayed out till like 4 a.m. just doing that. And then
that's the best time to have like nobody around.
Yeah,
that's like all the like rolling shots and stuff. I was like, there's no cars.
And then there's the other group of cars that was shot on a different night. So the BRZ and the M3 and Q50 that was shot the Sunday after the show, and then the other group of cars was like the week after.
Cool. But,
yeah, it was just like
a lot of planning, a lot of everything.
Yeah, you know, you kind of like star your locations on Google Maps to get an idea of where you want to go.
Right.
But it's always about like having backups, and you never know if there's gonna be random construction or an accident or something of that nature.
Who else shot that with you? Would you like as backups and stuff?
My homie Sam at Schwa Films and Ralph Salomon.
Cool. And you obviously did like all the audio and stuff like that and everything. That's awesome, man. Speaking of This Is Our Time, someone just duplicated that whole video in a very good detail in GTA.
It's almost terrifying, like how good it is. So shout out to him. I think it's like the Fantast 11.
11, yeah.
It's crazy what you can do in the
Dude,
GTA video game.
Away by that.
And what's funny is someone else messaged me saying like they made that model of the like they redesigned the RSX in the game. So like apparently in GTA you can like get any car you want and like mod it to a T. It's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, dude, I saw that and I was literally blown away.
Yeah, like what like threw me away is the last shot of the video and the GTA version is there's a traffic light that goes from red to green and it's like it's perfect. It's crazy.
Dude, I saw that and I was like, that's so cool. How did you get wind of that video? Like, did somebody send it to you? You saw it?
Yeah, he
DM'd
know
that? Oh,
yeah. He just like sent it to me and he's like, I hope you like it. I was like, what the fuck?
You're like, I don't like it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Tell us about the track song. How did you find that or that track?
I guess my like first fascination with just that genre in general was like started back in like 2015. It's kind of like a spacey, like atmospheric, emotional take on trap beats and trap music in general. But you know, SoundCloud is like really just the greatest platform for finding just discovering new artists and their talent.
Yeah.
So I think I was already following the dude, and then what made me choose it was like that night we were driving down from the show to that, and that song like just happened to randomly come on. I was like, yo, this is perfect. Like those are like the moments where it's just like Chris, Mike, and myself, we like there's a word for it and we all forgot it, but it's like a word for when things just like work, but like you don't like try to make it work.
Right, it just works.
Yeah, we can't remember the name of it and it's like drives us all crazy.
That's super cool, man. What was I gonna say? Yeah, that you know, it all turned out really well and stuff. I was wondering about the track. Was that like a royalty-free track, or did you have to reach out to them and say, "Hey, can I use this?" or whatever? Yeah.
For the most part, they're usually pretty down with using it because I'm more often than not I'm not monetizing.
Yeah.
But you know, like it doesn't hurt to have the numbers to like transfer the like the audience to them. Like the artist in the beginning of the TunerEvo Philly video, Essex, you know, like a week after the video like it randomly exploded out of nowhere. Like after a week, it had like 200K.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, how's the track doing? And he's like, bro, and he sent me a screenshot. It had like it like skyrocketed. Wow, it's crazy.
That's so cool.
So like it's just. You know, it's just a lot of times it's like I may be in a rush and I like don't have time to like be like, oh, I hope they reply, or so I'm just gonna send it.
Yeah.
You know, but I've never had like a problem with anyone, thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully.
But you know, it's just like a super appreciation for what they do.
Yeah.
Like it just works. You know.
Yeah, having problems with picking a song would suck, because I remember Crispy was telling me how he had that one issue with that one track, and I was like,
oh yeah, I was with him when it happened, bro.
That
oh my god,
sucks.
we were. It was awful because we were in Tampa.
Yeah, RWB.
Yeah, we were in Tampa. You know, and he's like working on the video like on our not shooting time. Or, he had posted it, and then the dude had a problem with it, so he had to, like, randomly find another song, like, at the spur of the moment and, like, re-edit, and then it was just, that's shitty. Annoying. Yeah. And then I know...
Because he monetizes, right? Like, with his stuff. Keep going, sorry.
No, it's okay. So, like, it's happened to Koziel, too, before, where his his Speed and Stance video from like a few years back. The record label like gave him so much shit about it, but he's like, yo, this video has 1 million views, and it's like it's like that track on all like Bandcamp, SoundCloud, or iTunes or whatever, like all the plays added up doesn't even come remotely close. It's like, what is your deal? That's
crazy.
You know?
Yeah, some people are just like stickler about that. I mean, I guess that's just how like that industry goes or whatever. Yeah. Damn. All right, so moving on. So tell us about your SRT4. I know it's been a while since you brought it out. Yeah. What's going on with that thing?
I'm gonna need a drink of water before this.
How'd to bring it up?
Oh boy. So it's funny enough. It's actually an RT neon. It's not an SRT4.
Oh, okay.
So I love neons. Like I think they're like quirky. Like I like quirky cars. That's why I also have a Kia Soul. So that car started completely stock when I was 19. I've had the car for just about like 10 years now.
Wow.
You know, when I first got it, that was what really like accelerated my love of cars. Yeah. Just in general, because it was such a fun car to drive. And within a year, I had it boosted, all the suspension changed out.
You went all out.
Yeah. And then, you know, kind of rode around like how it was for a while, and then went through like a transformation a little bit with, you know, just retrofitted headlights, new bumper and stuff of that nature, and the wrap and wheels. But it kind of like ran into a problem where every time it like got up to operating temperature, it would just start backfiring like crazy and shut off.
Oh no.
And that was like really in a time where I was like grinding to like make
photo
and
video
you were
my like, full time. Let me just put it off.
Yeah, and it's just only gotten busier. But
absolutely.
Yeah, I would love to get to it, but it's just like now at the age where I'm at right now, it's like I just need to focus on some more important stuff at the moment.
Yeah, that's understandable. I feel like everybody goes through that.
But I mean, it's not going anywhere. I have no reason to part it out. I thought about parting it out for a while, but it was just like, is that money even worth it?
Right. And you always lose money no matter what with car parts and cars and stuff. It's better to like, if you can afford to keep it or if it's paid off, it's just better just to hold on to it.
Yeah. I mean, the car has like, it's an 04 with 75,000 miles.
Wow.
It's been paid off for years and years. And it's not like I went into debt to like get those parts or anything. So it's like, it's not really a liability.
Gotcha.
To hold on to it, so it's just gonna hang out until I'm ready.
That's cool.
Because the thing is, like Lars's SRT4, the green one, like I love that thing, and it's like unless I could bring my car back with like a shaved bay and like new
to his
like,
level,
unless I could bring it back to that, like I have a vision for it, and it's like it's either like a Mark II GTI or like a early 2000s like Civic hatch, like where everything the bay is polished. The bay is totally shaven. It's like
completely
not stance, but it's like tucking. Like I have that vision for it, and like unless I am in the position to execute that, I don't even want to bother.
That'd be super cool though to bring it back.
Yeah,
it'd be awesome.
I mean, it's such a fun little car.
I know, right?
Like
that thing was fast too.
Yeah, it moves. It's not like anything ridiculous, but I built that car to like have a little bit of everything. Yeah. So it like looks good. It handles really good, and it's like quick.
Yeah. And I had to ask. I was like, where did that thing go? Because I remember it from back in the day. So with your videos and stuff and everything that you do creative wise, where do you draw your inspiration from?
From a visual perspective, at least like automotive based, Format 67 has like always been the motivating factor. That and Luke Huxham.
Okay.
Those two have just always been super motivating factors, and then just like really good car commercials in general. Like not like the come down to Auto Mall, like whatever. Not
sale.
Not that garbage. But like when a manufacturer makes like a really good art film or just a really good commercial that's like just makes the car like look good. That's what I love about like commercial photo and video, like automotive stuff, is like this is a Toyota Corolla, but it just looks so good. So like that's what I'm just like super fascinated by. But then when it comes to other stuff, just like really like Black Mirror. Like the way all Black Mirror shot is just incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's so cool, man. Yeah. Do you have do you have anything else, like any websites you frequent or any people that you follow that you're just like, I gotta watch this person's stuff before I do my stuff, and anything in that within that nature?
probably be Format 67
yeah,
for sure.
that's
Like
it,
I go back to their YouTube channel and their website all the time.
Yeah, man, that's some good stuff.
And then I have stuff bookmarked, but like I can't like think of the name of anything off the top of my head. But like on Vimeo, I just have like a bunch of favorites and stuff.
So I know you were saying that SoundCloud is like obviously the go-to for like music and stuff. What about for like your personal choice of music? Like tell us like what kind of, I know you dabbled into that a little bit earlier, but some of your favorite artists and what you listen to music-wise, personally.
A lot of the music I listen to is like electronic, like even if it's not stuff I feel like I'll use for video. It's like I'm really into the whole wave genre right now, which is the likes of Liquid Ritual, Terror Rhythm, Wave Mob. But outside of that, post rock is like another huge genre for me. Mono, Godspeed, Explosions in the Sky, Red Sparrows, The End of the Ocean, stuff of that nature. I'm really, really heavy on music without lyrics.
Oh, okay.
So whether it's electronic or not, I just don't really enjoy them.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, they've always felt distracting. I've always been like much more into the like music itself.
Yeah. And what's your platform of choice to like listen to all this music? Is it like Spotify, Apple? Like what do you use to listen?
Usually Bandcamp. Like SoundCloud and Bandcamp are my go-tos.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you decided where you're gonna start posting like your own music? Like, because I know you put your track for that you just did. For Avi's video and on SoundCloud. Is that just where you're gonna just keep putting your stuff?
Yeah. I don't want to like, it's like I already got all these accounts with my work to manage. Like I don't need any more to like worry about,
right?
Dude. Yeah, it's like it feels like a chore daily, but
you could always put on like your YouTube channel or something.
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
Yeah. So vehicle wise, what stands out to you as far as when you're picking cars for these shoots that you're doing, whether it be for an intro, outro, for event coverage, or just a feature? Is there something that gets your attention, and you're just like, I gotta film this car?
Yeah. The thing is, like, my personal interests and what the internet likes may not always work together. So it has to be like a mix of like, I personally like this car because that makes me more excited to shoot it. Yeah. And it's like, will the internet like this car? Because like when it comes down to it, it's like you got to get.
It's got to be like a balance of both.
Yeah, when you're trying to get a brand, when you're trying to have a brand get like your work to be worth it for a brand, like it needs people to see it,
right?
And it's like, will this car be like, will people share this video because it's like, yo, this car's in it? That's why I think the TunerEvo Philly video did so well, because it opened super aggressively with Austin's WRX hatch with the Skyline motor. But when it comes down to it, I just try to look for anything different on that specific platform. So like, not different in general, just like for that make and model, like, is it a little unique? Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously it's got to have like quality parts and all that sort of thing. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I don't need a car to be like crazy modded. I just need it to, like, the parts to be like right, make sense, and just look good.
Yeah, cool, man. So your life outside of cinematography, hobby-wise, I know you said you're obviously into cars. You're into making videos and photos and motion graphics, and also making your music. Are there any other hobbies that you're into that like some people wouldn't know about, that you care to share about?
Honestly, bro, like it's been like such a grind. It's like it's almost a little like exhausting, but like I haven't done much else. Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
yeah, I really admire your grind, man. Work.
It's just like I don't want to be like hustling when I'm 40,
right?
So I want to make sure I'm like good for when I'm 40. Like, like I can say no to a job and just be like, that's a good big deal. Yeah, so I'd rather like just hustle my ass off now and not sleep now while I can do it, like physically, mentally. But just a chill day out with friends. Like, other than that, like music production and video production, like, even though it's my job, it's still my hobby in the sense that like,
and that's a good way of like having it.
Yeah, like I mean, I like to hike a little bit, but like,
that's cool. I didn't know that.
It's
that's cool.
It's not something I get to do often, but hike a little bit here and there, and just, I think that's it.
No, cool. Hey, that's a good hobby, man. There's some people who that's like their only hobby.
I might need some hobbies after this, bro.
You do a lot though, which is awesome. Okay, so every creative's worst nightmare is losing work. To date, have you lost the project? And if so, care to tell us about that?
Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna go. So a thing with all these hard drives is that like when you're busy, it's like it takes time to like transfer stuff between hard drives, and when you're transferring stuff between hard drives, you're like taking up the CPU.
Yeah.
So you can't like really do a lot else at the same time.
Yeah.
So this one time I was like organizing all my hard drives, and I saw my Southern Worthersea video and like the footage, and I was like, oh yeah, like
I already put that in there.
Yeah, and I was like, bye. And then I like went to the other hard drive I thought it was on later, and I was like, oh, it's not there.
Oh no.
Yeah. What sucked, but like it sucked, but the 2 features I shot while I was there, I at least put out already. So.
Okay.
I mean, it had a badass scene with
and
Dom's
now
R8.
Solo's dead.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Well, it was the the Savannah one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought maybe it might have been like the last.
Right. Yeah, I went to the Helen one a long time ago. I didn't shoot anything. It was just like.
God, dude. So I only went to. I feel like I've said this already on a podcast episode of mine, but I went to the last Soul that was at Helen. It was my first one ever, and I was like, can't wait to come back next year. And then it's like,
psych.
Oh, psych. Mm-hmm. So how was the Savannah one compared to the?
It was cool. The only problem with it is like
spread out, right?
Yeah, because there's like 2 major parts of the area you want to stay in, but they're 40 minutes apart.
And I heard that people didn't know like exactly where to stay, so it was like people were,
the only problem
like
was it was like staying in Savannah sucked because there was no off-street parking, and you're talking to car people.
Yeah,
no one's gonna want to park their car on the street. And then the other side of town was like beautiful, like beach houses, like plenty of driveways, plenty of chill spots to hang out, but it was like 40 minutes away from the city.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know if it's the best place for it.
You planning on going to that again this coming year, or not sure?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I'll like unless all the homies want to get together and just go. But it's not like a goal of mine to go to shoot it.
Right. Yeah. I didn't go to the one before, and I've just like I've thought about it, but I don't know. I just haven't decided.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool, but I've been to Savannah plenty of times, and just like nothing
cute
new.
Little city.
Yeah. So you're a frequent traveler. What's been your favorite place that you've been to so far? And then are there any other places that you'd like to go to?
Chicago again.
Chicago
I love
again.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Seattle. I love Seattle. I really like I'm just fascinated by like being like close to New York. It's like very easy to get spoiled by like how gigantic it is, and every other city feels unimpressive.
Right.
Like LA does not feel impressive to me at all because there's like 10 buildings in LA.
Yeah.
But Chicago and Seattle, they have like a really nice looking skyline.
Right. It's beautiful there.
It's just like tight buildings and like concrete and glass, and like LA lacks that for me to like be like fascinated by it.
Yeah. Can you imagine Chicago and Chicago and New York without winter? Just like Cali weather, it'd be like they'd be like the perfect cities.
Yeah,
because I'm not a cold person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I feel like that would make like the perfect thing. What about international wise? Is there any place that you would like to go to?
Definitely want to hit Tokyo. I feel like it's long overdue. But going back to China is like definitely my number 1 on the list.
Yeah.
Like
Tokyo's on my list.
Yeah.
Tokyo Auto Salon, man, or maybe hit up a week fest out there, or in Japan. It would be awesome.
Definitely.
God, the culture out there.
Speaking of like being fascinated by cities, like cities in China make our cities
the skyscrapers,
it's
right?
Crazy. And like their residential buildings, there are so many of them, like packed tightly. It's just like crazy to like comprehend. It's really unreal. But I want to give it up to Beijing because that's where the IACRO guys are based out of.
Yeah.
So
you gotta go back there.
Yeah, 100%. Like they're super nice, and they were more than down to like work with me on when I was there. So I think it's something I really want to do.
Yeah.
But maybe go back to London, see what's going on.
I haven't been there yet. I want to.
It's cool. Yeah. Definitely see what's going on over there. I know people are going to comment on this video saying Brazil, so I'm going to say Brazil.
I went there when I was little for like a day because my mom's from Paraguay, so we went there for a day, and I remember it being cool, but I haven't gone there in my recent memory, so I've heard good things.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, man. So moving right along, so I had the chance to ask my followers for for people to submit questions, and I know like you helped out as well. You posted and you were like, hey, ask Christian some questions. So I have some questions from people, and again, I know I said this during Chris's video, so if I butcher anyone's name, my apologies. and I'll put everybody's like Instagram handle who had a question at the end of this video. But yeah, let's just go into that, man.
Sure.
And then when we're done with these, we'll, that'll be it. But
Okay.
so Mark Donahue asked, and his Instagram name is MRKODNGHE. I'll put that in the video because I just messed that up. If you could go back 10 years and give yourself advice, what would it be? And would you do anything differently? That's a good one.
First off, shout out to Mark. He's a great dude. When Chris and I went to London for the London Motor Film Festival, he showed us around. He was an awesome dude. He does great work too.
Cool.
But yeah, I would do so much over.
What specifically? That's got to be one thing.
Yeah, of course. I think I would just not. It's gonna be a little like controversial, but I wouldn't go to college.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think if you're really, really good at something, there's no need to go to college for it. Like,
do you feel like you benefited from going there, or do you think that you would have just been able to learn all that on your own and just save time and money?
Learn literally nothing.
Wow.
I mean, like, you get out what you put in, but it just felt very unrewarding. And when I was like getting towards the end of it, like
you're just like, I just want this to end.
That, and just like the jobs they were like offering, and like the interns and like internships and like places I was like being prospected to, I was like, yo, this sucks. Yeah. And like I would like be in there and like no one looked happy. So I think if you're just really good at something
and you have the drive and stuff, and you don't need to learn anymore, just keep going. Yeah,
not at all.
That's cool. And then obviously you save like time and money, which is always a plus as well.
Yeah. If I think about all the time I spent in the classroom, if I just like studying on my own terms and shooting, like it'd just be a totally different story. But
that's wild.
So
don't go to school if you don't have to.
There's probably gonna be like a question related to that, so we'll get to it if it comes up.
That's cool, man. Okay, so Steven Dizon asked, what's the best advice for aspiring photo/videographers, how to start learning techniques, programs, and etc. And then it's funny that you just said this, but he's like, is it necessary to go to school to become successful in the field?
So I think like film school, I think its most important asset is the people you meet.
Right.
So I didn't go to film school. I went to just like college for business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't go to film school.
I was under the impression you went to film school, so I was like, oh wow, don't go to film school. Whoa.
No, I didn't. I went for business.
Okay.
So
okay.
just
right
like
on.
General, right on. Communications, finance.
Wow. Okay, that totally changes my.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Do I think film school can help you? Yes. Mm-hmm. But is it what you're going to learn? I don't think as much as you actually just doing it, and whether people are nice to you or not about doing something wrong, like you're going to learn either way. But I think the people you meet is the most important part, because it's all these people who need each other and they're all in the same goal.
A little bit of technical difficulties, but we're back now. So on the topic of school and film school and stuff, so what you were saying.
So I think film school's most important asset is the people you meet, not necessarily going to learn. My buddy Aaron, he's 18, 19, and he went for 2 semesters, met a bunch of people, started working on projects, and dropped out.
Wow.
And I think it's
and now he's probably just doing his own thing. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody is one thing I definitely have learned about school and stuff. But I myself went to art school for design, and I feel like I got a good amount of knowledge out of it. But like I said just now, it's not for everybody. If somebody can do without it and just save the money and save the 4 or 5 years or whatever, then good for them. That's good.
I think it's just like the experiences you're going to get out of it is going to teach you so much more, just like street smarts and dealing with clients and all that. It's just it's not something you can learn by sitting down.
You have to just like just dive into the real world and just learn it on your own. All right, next question. Isaiah Williams asked, holy crap. Did you go to film school or did you learn everything on your own?
All right, so there you go. Yeah.
That question was answered already. Okay. Learn everything on your own. I would imagine. Yeah. Cool, man. And mainly from just like YouTube and
just
and
watching
learning from friends and stuff. Yeah.
Like YouTube tutorials, like collaborating with people and just watching stuff, and it's like, let me try and like remake that. Yeah.
Right on. Okay, next question. Andrew Fearon Diesel.media asked, Anthony spent some time in Ontario, Canada this past summer filming the build of RWB Kitchener. How was his experience with Ontario and people he met there?
So shout out to Andrew. He was an awesome dude. He helped Chris, Cody, and I out a lot while we were up there. It was cool. Everyone was super nice to be around. Everyone was like super friendly. Good times. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Come back to Kitchener, Ontario, and definitely got to stop by Toronto at some point.
Yeah,
sure.
Hell yeah, man. I've shamelessly have never been to Canada, but I want to go. I need to go. There's a lot of places I haven't gone. Okay, Scotty Hardway asks, what's your all-time favorite cameras / stabilizers to use and why?
I thought I saw something flash over there. Make sure we're good. I would say right now my setup, I don't know for its purpose. I don't know how it could get much better.
Yeah.
So the A7R2 with the Ronin.
Okay.
Not that I want to rely on like the camera or the gimbal too much, but like if I have an hour to do something and run and gun it, like that's how it's gonna get done.
Cool.
And the like a lot of people say gear doesn't matter, but like gear will help you execute your ideas better.
Yeah.
Not worrying so much about the fact like, oh wow, this looks amazing. What camera is this?
Yeah.
But like the whole Cartel Funds video, if I was still using a Canon, that video is not going to be possible straight up.
Right.
Because it has no low light capability. It doesn't have the dynamic range to handle the darks and then the headlights at the same time. Like, So I mean, I'm pretty pleased with what's going on right now.
Do you see yourself sticking with that setup for like a while? A while?
I feel like if they come out with the Mark IIIs, like I'll buy that in an instant. But I don't feel like I personally have the client base to go like Red or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
And the in between market, like the FS7 and like EVO 1, like I think it might slow me down a little bit.
Yeah.
And the quality difference for the price isn't like the astronomical jump.
Right.
As if I was going to like Red or something of that nature. So I think I'm going to hang out where I'm at.
Yeah. Have you've rented Reds in the past though? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What determines whether or not you're going to use one of those or not usually?
Budget.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Scott and his Instagram is at Funky Mac asks, what was your favorite shoot you've ever done?
I would say... I put it in different categories. I would say by car, Steve's RSX.
Okay, dude, I love that one.
I love that car.
I want a video like that. Yeah,
I love that car because it's exactly what I envisioned for my cars, like the polish bay, shave bay.
Dude, the audio on that was great.
The car sounds so good.
I know.
Then I guess by final product, the Cartel Phones video, and then by overall just like vibe, probably One Night in Dallas.
Yeah.
Just because it's just like you're with your friends, like you're not concerned about making a good video.
And it just turns out good.
Yeah, it just turns out you just happen to find like cool locations and it just works.
Yeah. Cool, man. All right, so Ricky and his Instagram handle is CHOURICO. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Equipment accessories for traveling. What he keeps in his bag at all times and his favorite shoot of his own, which we already answered. Sorry about that. So elaborate why it was his favorite and a story. So I feel like you already answered the second part of his question.
Right.
But the first part was what equipment accessories do you use for traveling? So basically what always has to be in your bag at all times?
If it's like a major shoot, I bring everything. So like but like what's always in my like daily backpack is like my laptop, a hard drive for any projects I'm working on, like outside of where we are right now, and then hand sanitizer
at all times. Yeah. He also wants to know. He'd like to hear what you rely on for backups, internal memory drives or cloud or all that stuff. I guess I know you've dabbled on that, but just like technically, like what do you use?
If you want, I could bring it over, so it's like a better visual.
If you want, yeah. It'd be cool to see.
Okay, wow. So here we are.
What do we have here?
So like when it comes down to the computer in general, like all the operating system and all the programs is on SSD because it makes them all run faster. But when it comes to like mass storage and mass editing, I just use what is pretty much called like a hard drive toaster for mounting internal 3.5 inch hard drives externally.
Oh wow.
So these are all, it's pretty much the best money you can get per terabyte. So this is $199 for 6 terabytes.
Wow.
And it's a very, very reliable and fast hard drive. So this is basically the bulk of storage and backups.
Nice.
And then for like super like backups of backups, because I have 2 copies of everything, I just use like WD My Books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's super impressive.
But they're not like really fast, and I don't want to leave them running for a long time because I don't like to leave external hard drives like constantly running. So since these are internal drives, they're meant to run and have that long lifespan.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Next question. Bryce G Media asked, Have you ever hit a car while skating and filming? Does pushing Mongo make you nervous?
I'm gonna slap him. So I've only hit one car with my skateboard, but luckily enough, it was the face of a unbrushed wheel, and the dude didn't care at all.
Oh, okay,
so,
awesome. That's not awesome, but that's good that.
Yeah, like I hit a pebble in a venue, like yeah. So I guess it got stuck in a tire, like rolling in, and just fell off. But that's that sound every skater knows, that like sound, and then. Like, I always try and, like, lean back a little bit to, like, in case that happens. But, like, it just caught me off guard.
Ouch.
And then I, like, chased after it and it just, like, bumped it.
Oh, no.
But,
and he also wants to know, what's your go-to gimbal shot / move?
I would say the, like, just, like, really majestic, slow movement that, like, doesn't even necessarily need to be done on a gimbal. I mean, it'll obviously help because it's going to be, like, perfect. But, it's all about like the deadband and the speed and the settings of the gimbal. It's like how fast it reacts to you and how quick it does that reaction. Well, I just said the same, but like how fast it does the motion, then how fast it like reacts.
Gotcha.
To like your movement. But,
cool. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Quentin at retro_QC wants to know, what is the best way or best method to go about being featured in one of your show coverages? Does your car have to fit with the mood of the video, or is it just first come first serve?
So we kind of like touched on it, but it comes down to like, does this car like fit the theme of the show?
Yeah.
And does it look good? And are you down? You know, because I might ask you just for a little bit, or I might ask you for like a whole day of your time.
Yeah.
So people that are just down with the cause will always like kind of get priority. Like if I'm messaging someone, they just like don't give me like an excited vibe. I just kind of like, you know?
Yeah.
Like let me find someone who's like stoked to drive around all day. You know.
Yeah. And then not a lot of people are down for that, which is
especially
crazy.
with like some of the crazier cars, which is unfortunate, but
that only come out like every so often. Okay, so at Hey I Seen You Before wants to know, how does he plan the route the cars for rolling footage?
We kind of touched on it before, but like an important thing we didn't bring up is like you got to consider the area you're in and the time of day.
Yeah.
So like I would never do anything near a suburbia like at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Because all the kids getting out of school, and like avoid industrial areas on weekdays because it's gonna be full of tractor trailers and you know all that like kind of traffic.
Yeah.
So stick to industrial areas on weekends. Avoid parks on weekends.
Yeah.
And do them on weekdays, probably like super early in the morning. It's all about just like kind of understanding the area you're in and the time of day.
Yeah.
And like avoid holidays if you can.
Absolutely. How do you guys communicate with the rolling shots? Do you have like walkie-talkies, or how do you?
Sometimes we'll use
that?
Sometimes we'll use walkie-talkies or just the cell phone on speaker.
Got it.
A lot of time you just kind of
conference call everybody.
Communicate like your hand signals. It's like walk with it, like walk through with them, like come here, stay back, like go back.
Right. Yeah.
Stay forward. Or if I do like the head nod, it's like I want you to fucking I want you to just go.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't always work, or like sometimes they get caught in a light. That's the thing, you know.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff you can't like compensate for.
Do you have a lot of footage where you're just like, I'm not using that because?
Oh yeah, it's just like me waiting for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, wow, my arm's tired. But yeah, it's you gotta just do it.
All right, so Christian with the and his Instagram name is at CRBR Films wants to know, what's your audio setup for shooting rollers? Like, how do you do that?
So I just use a Tascam DR40. The equivalent a lot of people use is the Zoom H4n.
Yes.
Yeah, just
So Crispy uses, yeah?
Yeah. So just throw that on a suction cup. Guess the levels I'm gonna be at. There's other better ways to do it.
Could you stick it in like someone's trunk or
no? Because the sound would be all the high frequencies of the sound.
Yeah,
like when it come through, it would be like.
Oh yeah.
But there's better ways to do it with loud mics feeding into the recorder because they have more of a decibel range that they can like for like super loud cars.
Gotcha.
But my setups work for me, so I have like no immediate need to change it up right now. So I'm chilling.
Yeah, and it sounds good and it works. Is what you're used to, which is super cool, man. Kyle Carter at K_Carter wants to know, shooting so many amazing cars, does one stick in your head, one you just can't stop looking at? If so, what car was that and why?
Honestly, Steve's RSX will always have a special spot because
dude, that's honestly like my favorite video of yours.
Thank you.
Yeah,
because it's just like the perfect definition of like a performance.
And it's
Honda.
like fully done.
Yeah, and all the parts are incredible.
Yeah.
Full race,
Paint's
Voltex, work. I mean, it's
everything,
like can't really get any better.
And plus, you were saying that it like resembles like what you would want to do with your car.
Yeah, it's like, and I've always had a little soft spot for RSX.
Yeah, likewise, me too. Yeah. So Ben Nelson at Nebula_Films wants to know, how does he get such nice flow in his hair? No, he was just kidding. And his real question was, what lens size does he find to look the best / most natural? 50mm, 85mm, etc. Also, any budget. What is your dream camera setup? So, so the first question I know was what lens do you use? Yeah.
My favorite focal length would just be 35 or like 35-40.
Okay.
Because like the barrel distortion is like very minimal. All the lines are straight.
Yep.
Like buildings don't curve in.
Yeah.
You know, if you're like shooting a skyline, it's like they go like this a little bit. Other than that, I love 135. It's like my super favorite focal length. Yeah. I would say more than 35, but 35 is obviously more practical.
Cool, man. And then any budget given, what is your dream camera setup?
I feel like I should say red, but I don't know, honestly. I guess like if that was the work I was gearing more towards yes. But right now I just want like the new predecessor of my camera.
Yeah.
You know.
Is that next for you or
the day the pre-order is available, I'm going.
You're going. Yeah. Would you use your current one as like a backup or sell it, or what would you do? Or you haven't thought that far?
there's the S line, the R line. I have the R line now, which is still a great camera, but just a little bit less powerful for video.
Yeah.
As the S line, and it's more of a photo geared camera. I think I would buy the S of the next generation and keep the R for a backup camera and a photo camera, unless I like need to sell it. But right now I'm chilling.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Nate Wong at Nate.media wants to know, how do you find the inspiration for certain shots or movements? And were there any cinematographer styles that you wanted to follow?
I would just keep up with Format 67 and Luke Hoxham. And what I would do is go on the London Motor Film Festival's website and Google search all the submissions and just watch all those. Yeah. Because they're all unreal. Yeah. Especially the commercial category is just ridiculous.
Cool, man. Okay, so at Hooded.Productions wants to know, and I know we touched base on this, but it'd be cool to elaborate more. What made you want to create your own custom soundtracks for videos, and is this another potential field of work you're also looking into besides media? Yeah.
Again, what just like the fascination of music production. I would like to do it more for the videos. I don't know if I would make it a line of work where I do it for money. Yeah. But I also said that about, how serious I was going to take doing photos and stuff. So. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so next question. At Benny Wiles wants to know, he has a couple questions, so I'll just ask him in parts. What was your biggest obstacle in pushing into doing video/photo full time?
It was just getting the work to the level of being paid.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because I feel like a big misconception that a lot of new people to the field have is like, oh, I bought a Ronin M and a camera, like, and then they go on Facebook and complain about people wanting to get free shoots.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wouldn't pay for you to shoot my car either. Like, there's no reason for you to get money right now.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Like, your work isn't good, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's not gonna be good. So you gotta work your ass off and make it good.
Absolutely.
So that's really the whole thing behind it.
Yeah, man.
So it's just, and then but back to the problem, it's just getting to that level where you can support yourself a little bit and still have time, like still work a regular job to keep up supporting yourself. But just making that transition out.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Second part of the question is, what are some of the pros and cons of doing it freelance, and how were you able to push past self-doubt and daunting comparisons to others' work?
That's a monster that'll eat you, honestly.
Yeah. With anything creative.
Yeah. Just freelance is great. Working for yourself is great. All that. I'm not gonna lie, I've become less sociable since I've been freelancing because I believe it. Yeah. I don't work around people, and I'm like alone for 12 hours a day, and the other 8 hours I don't even sleep for 8 hours. What am I talking about? The other 6 hours a day I'm sleeping, and then but it's great. But it's definitely something you gotta prepare yourself for in advance, because you're also, depending on how you're doing, you're also your own accountant, your own lawyer, your own everything.
Yeah, man.
So yeah.
And it's hard to find people that you trust to do that. So it's like easier just to do it on your own.
I have an accountant next door, and like when I first moved in, I was like, "Oh, how are you with freelance accounting?" He's like, "What?" And I was like, 1099s, stuff of that nature, working for myself. He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Why are you?" He's like, "That's gonna cost you a lot of money." Not like his services, but like he's just made it. He's just made it
complicated.
Yeah, let me see if he's there. No, all right. He just made like a snarky comment about like 1099s and like being freelance and shit. I was just like, "Fuck off!" And I did it myself, and I didn't even.
And I'm sure by now you know how.
Yeah, I owed federal like $50, so it wasn't even a bad deal.
You're like, score.
Yeah.
And then he has a fun one to end off his 3 questions. What's your favorite way to procrastinate getting edits done when you're burnt out?
Reddit.
Yeah?
Yeah, Reddit.
Dude, that's like an endless cycle of like, you can get lost in that. It's worse than YouTube.
There's a really funny meme. It's like, get into office, turn on computer, 15 minutes later, go get coffee. 15 minutes later, start up Premiere. 15 minutes later, it's like, check tweets and Trump news, and then it's like 3 hours later, see if Premiere opened. Oh yeah, it did. It's like, you can get lost real quick. But Reddit,
all day,
dogs and cats and memes. Yeah,
that's funny, man. All right, second to last question. Jared Junction at Temple Turkey wants to know, what is the one thing that makes you cringe in automotive cinematic videos?
Not using the right song for the vibe.
Yeah.
Like, it can't be a beautiful sunny day and you're tossing Suicide Boys.
Yeah,
It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Or just,
I feel like that's a big issue though with a lot of videos, man. And I feel like people don't think about that often. They're just like, I love this song and I'm gonna use it no matter what. And it's just like, did you think that out?
Or just like too many wheel shots.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there's so many more parts to a car than wheels.
Yeah. I can understand.
Unless it's first class fit mix. But
all the wheels.
No, you got plenty of quality parts there.
All right, so last question comes from our buddy Chris Sempek. Ask him about the time he rode in a Bugatti in Times Square at midnight.
When did that one? I didn't see that one. Okay, so we were on a little like D2 Forge thing, filming a Murcielago in the city, and just the circle of people in New York City is so strange. Like the supercar.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
And it's like, where do you keep these things?
So I'm with the guy from D2, and like he's like, "Yo, our boy with the Bugatti's home." I was like, "Okay." So then it like comes down Times Square, obviously instant crowd.
Yeah.
But then the guy I was working for like shoves me through the crowd. He's like, "Get in and film." And I was like, "Yo, this car's like," in my head I was like, "This car's like not even on the wheels, but whatever, sure." Yeah, and then he took me for a loop. It's crazy how low the seat sits. Like, if you go to put your arm on the windowsill, it's like this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're like trying to chill, and you're like this. He like pulled on it on, I think it was like 40th Street or something, and it was just like the weirdest like sense of speed I've ever felt. Like, you know, like, yeah, it's unreal. But the funniest part is his phone screen was cracked. I was like, yo, you got a Bugatti. What are you doing?
What are you doing, man?
What are you doing? This was back, like, when I think the newest iPhone was, like, a 6. So, maybe 5,
did he have, like, a 3 or something?
2014, like, whatever your iPhone was out at the, like, beginning of 2014. It's like, yo.
What are you doing,
What
dude?
are you doing?
His priorities were not straight. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, man. So that was the end of the question videos. And then lastly, I was just going to ask you if you had any like closing thoughts or shout outs before we end this thing.
For anyone that wants to do this,
yeah,
I just say the most important thing is patience. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen overnight, you know. You're going to get unmotivated. You're going to get discouraged. Just find ways to get around that. Just surround yourself with friends, music, you know, whatever you got to do. Just do it. Hustle while you're young, you know. But thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all my homies, Mike, Chris, Sebastian, you know, everyone that's helped me come to where I've been able to support myself for 3 years doing this, especially my parents.
Yeah, man.
You know, for not telling me to like suck it up and just deal with shitty jobs.
Yeah, man.
You
it's
know?
it's always good to hear people whose parents support them and what they do.
Yeah, 100%.
It's really, really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I just wanted to say thanks, man, for
sure.
doing this. I know we've been talking about this for a while, and it's super cool that it finally happened.
Definitely.
Thanks for having me at your studio. Super cool time.
You got it.
And I just wanted to say, man, like, you know, again, thank you, obviously, but yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing, dude. It's super cool. Like, I really admire like your hard work and your passion, and like you're like a freaking true OG, man. You've been in this for like ever. And like it's super cool to see like your progression and everything, and it's inspiring, man. And I really like that you're just like, you know, the man of the people, man. You're in tune with your audience. You never like, you never like ignore people. You're always, you always respond to you try to respond to everybody. And like, dude, people love you, man. Every person that I've talked to that about like that I was going to do this interview, like they're just like, you know, he's a cool dude doing awesome things, and they just had nothing but awesome things to say about you. And, it's inspiring, man. Cool stuff. But yeah, man. Thanks for doing this, dude. That's it. It's Christian Loza with Halcyon Podcast, and this has been Anthony Purcell, Halcyon Photo.
Stay tuned for the next one on how it's done.
Peace.
Tight.
That was cool.
Oh, I've never worn headphones that
long.
So.